This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hit it.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Perhaps not on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, though. The one that plunged en route from Sydney to Auckland on Monday. You've seen it on the news.
Airways.
Yeah, 50 people injured. And now the pilot's come out and said what happened. He said the gauges just blanked out. He lost all ability to fly the plane.
That's unbelievable. Can you imagine the panic? Oh, my God. Well, I would be.
Yeah, just in there. I mean, when Harry's paneling our show here, literally when we had the WWE wrestlers in the other week, Harry, that all went blank, didn't it?
He lost 5,000.
And you can't even turn your microphone on now.
1-1. Okay, it's actually.
It's happening now.
That's so funny.
It's happening in front of us.
Okay, so things are just blanking out. No, things aren't working.
It does say there that it's on. Harry, talk again.
Hello.
Yeah, so
not
this
on.
is my point. It's like you're at the mercy of the electrics.
Yes, except that we're not being flung around all over the studio.
No, we
That'd be
don't.
the
Yeah.
difference.
So what did it drop about? It just plummeted, didn't it?
It plummeted. It
started
plummeted.
nosediving.
It was flying smoothly and then just suddenly bang.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people would have been saved if they just followed one simple rule.
Please fasten your seatbelt. Sir, your seatbelt.
You got to fasten your seatbelt, and you do have to keep it on the whole time, even though it's uncomfortable. I mean, it's just a safety thing.
I never used to, but I do these days.
Yeah.
I'm just an old cat.
I always do.
One of the passengers, Brian, he was on the plane, of course, and he was seatbelted. So he was okay. He was fast asleep during this.
Yeah, because it's a long haul flight.
He was fast asleep. So
of course he's nodded off.
So this is an unusual thing to wake up to. But this is Brian talking about what happened.
I was awakened and I looked up to see the gentleman that was sitting next to me on the roof of the plane. I'm looking at him fully outstretched with his back on the roof of the plane. And then he came crashing down to the floor.
Imagine the shock of waking up to that.
Yes.
That's frightening, man.
The guy
That's
that's sitting
so
next to you was on the ceiling looking down. And then when he landed, I'm pretty sure another guy, people were landing and breaking arms.
Yeah, and ribs.
ribs.
People landed on the armrests, of course, and breaking ribs and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, he said,
That's horrendous.
Yeah, he said I passed out sleeping on the plane. Next thing I know, bodies were flying past me onto the roof of the plane. It was really, really scary.
Because if you got up to just go for a toilet at that particular time, a lot of people are all stretching your legs. You're gone.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the staff were the people injured as well, because they're up and about all the time. They're not strapped in.
We're listening to Brian, who was a passenger on the plane. Hopefully you guys can hear what he had to say now.
I was awakened and I looked up to see the gentleman that was sitting next to me on the roof of the plane. I'm looking at him fully outstretched with his back on the roof of the plane. And then he came crashing down to the floor.
That's what he woke up to.
Yes.
He was completely asleep before that. It reminds me of that story, was it last year, where the couple were camping and they had their four-wheel drive and they have one of those tents attached to the four-wheel drive.
Yep.
They woke up, someone had stolen their four-wheel drive. They woke up to being dragged in the tent down the road.
right. Yeah,
that's how they woke up.
That's not ideal, is it? Stevenson, could you get up? Hello.
How you going?
Hey,
Steve.
Steve.
Did you
Thanks
wake
for
up?
sticking with us.
Did you wake up to something full on?
Yeah, when we were little, quite a few years ago, I was about 7, we were in a caravan going to Kalgoorlie. Back in those days, we actually slept in the caravan while it was being driven.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
That could happen.
rules. No rules back then. Yep.
And my dad veered left and he hit one of those white timber marking posts and it went through the front of the caravan and all the way through the caravan. It entered out the rear of the caravan, leaving a hole in the front and the back. Flew over the top of me and my two brothers. We were actually asleep on the bed that the post flew across.
Oh,
So
that's
you had to wake up to a hole in the front and a hole in the back of the bed.
Oh, Steve. That's amazing.
Just put a doggy
How
door in.
hectic's
It's
that?
fine.
So it was like someone shot a missile at it and it just went straight through.
Exactly.
And if one of you had sat up at that time, if you
It happened over 50 years ago, and the memory is still with me, and I cannot lose that memory.
So if one of you had sat up, you would have been collected by that post.
Absolutely. If we were sitting up, because the bed was actually a chair, you put the mattress down that turned it into a bed. So if it was actually, we would have all been here.
I tell you what,
Steve, that's hectic, isn't it?
we always say it. If you haven't seen the movie Final Destination, this is one of the scenes that would be from Final Destination,
Yeah, it
except
is.
for you didn't die.
I know, you've had 50 good years since
Yes,
then. Well done.
wow.
Great story, Steve. Thank you. Mel's in Parmelia. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Hey, good Mel.
Mel. Now, what very full-on thing woke you up?
Well, many years ago when I had the travel bug, I went to Singapore with a friend of mine, and back in the day, there was accommodation in Singapore was very expensive, and we just didn't have the money to pay for a 5-star hotel there.
Yep.
So we stayed at Lloyd's Inn, and that was probably a block back from Orchard Road.
Yes.
And it was a nice little motel. Anyway, the air conditioning packed up, and it's quite hot in Singapore.
Yeah.
And so the manager at the front said, "Oh no, it's okay. This is the safest country in the world. You'll be okay." Blah blah blah. So we thought, okay, fair enough. So we opened our windows.
Yeah.
And because we had to let some air in because it was very very hot.
Yeah, of course.
And so we went to sleep, and I woke up with a start, thinking something was happening, obviously, and there was a pair of legs over the top of my head, spread-eagled, and I screamed, woke my girlfriend up. She screamed, and then there was someone in our room, obviously.
Yeah.
And he screamed as well. And
we all screamed for ice cream. Yes.
Yeah. And he'd come in through the window, and anyway, before we could actually do anything and try and get hold of him, he'd taken our passports and all of our cash.
Yeah.
So anyway, we sort of tried to get ourselves together because we were a little bit hysterical.
Yes.
And so we went to the front desk, and they rang the police because they take that very seriously over there. So they rang the police, and then the police were there for about 6 hours taking fingerprints and doing forensics and all this other stuff. And they said it was probably one of the construction workers next door because they were building this high-rise.
I was going to say, because what level were you on?
Oh, ground floor.
Oh, ground floor.
Okay.
I've seen the open window. Yeah.
Jeez.
And
waking
up to legs spread across you. Like, even robbing a house, they still man spread.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
Even when you're awake, it's not great.
Oh, that is full on.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
Sean's son graduated, and their graduation on Saturday night, very rain interrupted. Then the sound system went down, and they stopped and they started. And
Shaun, tell everyone. No, he hasn't even told you the worst thing that happened.
Well, the worst thing was that we weren't sure of how the event was going to be run, other than the fact that every ticket was $50. So 6 tickets I got. Yeah, I don't know what I'm getting right. So beforehand, we're discussing whether we go out for dinner or what the case is, but it was going to be too late.
Yep.
So we decided that I got told we're going out for a late lunch / early dinner.
Yeah.
So you go off to a place and you spend whatever
How
it
much?
is,
How much?
$200-300 probably. Because everyone's drinking except me and the two young ones.
400, isn't it? Probably.
Oh, I don't think it got that nasty, but there was a
300.
couple of cocktails ordered, which I was like, you're only doing that because you're not paying, and I am.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's the only time you order cocktails when you're not paying.
When we eventually get to the event, there's this big setup, big tent land area with food trucks and stuff, and you had to go and pick up your tickets for the event, and they give you your tickets, plus they give everyone a $15 food voucher and a $5 drink voucher.
Yeah.
So $20 back.
So the tickets had already paid for dinner.
yes.
But you chose to pay for dinner somewhere else.
Yeah. So I was really
Lucky you're really rich, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Karen's in Shundana. Hi, Karen.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Hey, Karen.
Oh, Karen. What happened? A whole lot of things went wrong. Tell us about it.
All right, I've got to make this really short. So I'm going to take you back to the moment. It's the early 90s.
Okay.
It's my 21st birthday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's collie, and it's the middle of winter.
Jesus.
Okay. Every ingredient for a good time.
There's a lot going on already.
Yeah, absolutely,
Let's do it.
absolutely. So, party had to be postponed because Nan died in India. So first thing, trying to let everyone know the new date. Second thing, it's in a hall, and my sister was a primary teacher, pre-primary.
Yep.
She decorated it. Imagine walking into a hall that looked like a pre-primary classroom.
Yes.
Number 3, she makes my Crock-and-Bush 21st cake and drops it. All the Crock-and-Bush put
A drop-and-bush.
All the Crock-and-Bush.
Oh, my God. What about pool balls just scattered on the floor?
We haven't finished it.
Yeah.
The theme is called Fiesta. Everyone's dressed up in weird costumes, but with so many microwaves heating up food, we blew the whole power circuit. So then there's no food, but a lot of drinking going on.
Yes.
So then we decided that we would get batteries for a handheld stereo, and everyone had to dance on tiptoes.
Okay.
So then I'm sitting in the toilet looking up going, why me? And the lights come on.
Oh.
By by this stage, everybody's smashed.
Yep.
We're having a round of tequila slammers for my birthday toast.
Yep.
And my dad does the speech and he said, and I hope the two of you will be very happy together. He thought it was my wedding.
Well, there you go. There you go. All you can do in that stage of the night is put your drink down, get onto your hands and knees, and lick one of the crockenbushes off of the ground.
Where you were going there.
Well, it was a good one. It was a night to remember, I can tell you
Yes,
that.
you're still talking about it now,
Yeah,
Karen.
you are, Karen.
Oh, we do, and we're all in our 50s, so there you go.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
We're graced with the presence of Tom Cashman in the studio. You might know him as the offsider in Taskmaster Australia.
I've been confused about the beach today because, Tom, you don't strike me as a beach person. So knowing that you want to go down there, I was asking the question of what one does down at the beach. I know you like to go for a bit of a dip, but it's the lying on the towel bit that confuses me.
Nathan,
talk to me.
Can I just say, I'm hearing you have this conversation with Tom. Harry was the same, and I'm looking at you. We live in WA beaches and stuff, and this is kind of lifestyle.
And you're asking a Melburnian how to go to the beach.
But you're actually asking it like you've lived on another planet.
Yeah,
like Mary Rodwell was right.
You've crawled out of your hole where you were held captive.
Did you feel that, Tom?
Yeah, if you're familiar with the concept of explain like I'm 7, this was like explain like I'm 6.
And from Jupiter.
So what does one do at the beach?
So tell me, what do you do?
Look, I agree with you that lying down on the towel.
Because I asked if I could take my iPad and you said no.
Well, technology and kind of nature intermeshing in that kind of way is a bit just not the right vibe to me. Okay. I agree that lying down on the towel and kind of, I suppose some people would put it in the category of tanning, presumes that you think you look hot or something.
You know
what I mean?
Okay, to show others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and it like kind of implies a level of self-improvement that I wouldn't be comfortable being observed doing.
Right.
So I kind of agree with you that like
and with Nathan there would be a light sizzling because his skin is just going to.
Well, exactly.
So people would literally come over and go, "Oh, someone's got a Barbie on." Which cook a sausage over me.
That's more embarrassing. It's like I'm pasty as hell as well. So to be seen tanning for the first time, it's like
good, isn't
for
it?
the 7th time, great, you look nice, and you're just updating.
Yeah.
This one, it's like, oh my god, he's trying. He's doing it.
Do you know what they do? They need a Paley's beach. So anyone that's got any melanin at all isn't allowed near it.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Just so we can get like a head start.
But then close the eyes. All of a sudden, it's a doze. All of a sudden, you're in the category of doze, and no one can accuse you of trying to be a different colour.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like that's my advice: is close the eyes.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, what? Am I not allowed to sleep?
But the fairer people, this is the most dangerous thing you can do is fall asleep under the sun.
Yeah, because then when you fall asleep, the shade is over you.
You're not actually sleeping though. You're very awake. You're just closing the eyes for plausible deniability.
We do breakfast radio. We fall asleep. We're going to fall asleep, and then the sun will move, and all of a sudden we're burnt.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah,
well, that's I suppose the risk
you guys
you
got to live.
No, we do live. We just do it inside.
Inside. Yeah, I get it.
Good Sean, you're saying you guys got to live. Me going out to the beach a lot isn't going to be conducive to me living longer.
That's a really good point.
So really, me staying inside is I'm going to live.
Tom, the other thing we talked about off air was Shaun asked his standard comedian question. Shaun, did you want to ask it of Tom publicly?
I was thinking that you're going to come at me for asking this, but I find it very interesting. What did you previously do?
Well, no, because firstly, if you were an actor, Shaun would ask about if you enjoy wearing the costume.
Yes.
That's exactly the question.
I've got another one.
Shaun, that is a fantastic question. And that's also what I think, particularly when I watch a period piece. I'm like, oh, that's a nice dress.
The corset was a bit hard to breathe, but you know what? It really fit the moment.
Hollywood celebrities are always saying stuff like that. They're like, oh, it was 3 hours in makeup. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, shut your mouth, Chris Pine.
You're not doing the work. You're just sitting there.
Sitting there. Oh, my Lord.
All
it must be so hard.
So Shaun asked the question.
What did you previously do before you became a comedian?
So I mean, I've been doing stand-up since I was 19, but I had a day job as a lawyer until like 2 years ago. So, yeah.
How much like sex were you? Yeah. Were you just doing the background stuff or you...
I mean, I suppose background, I did like contracts. So kind of very persnickety. And I suppose, to be honest, it kind of really...
We might need you later this year.
Are you busy?
Okay, yeah. So what you would want to do is you want to ask for more money than you expect.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot for the
and
sky.
then meet them in the
I want to ask
middle.
for more money than I deserve.
Yeah.
Can I second that
gosh. Okay, so already speaking publicly like you have that you don't value yourself, you've already failed. You should be talking yourself up like,
Wow.
oh my God, I know that I'm
deserve
worth
it.
That was
I
really bad
deserve it.
news. You don't
Yeah.
mind really hurting me then, do you?
Although-
Let me take you down to the beach.
That was arguably comedy, which is your role.
Yeah.
See?
So,
doing it.
by being funny, you are making yourself more valuable. So actually, you're back on.
You're
Thank
good.
you,
You're good
everyone.
at this.
Oh,
You
this is
shouldn't have given it
exciting.
up. You're really good.
Okay, so the
contract
bell has just
law.
been introduced as an element.
There's three. There's this one, and this
Okay.
one here.
Great.
It's a fizzer.
The Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
Ellie, you only received beautiful, flattering gifts, nothing insulting.
I have received an insulting gift. I
Okay.
just can't remember what it was.
Well, you know what? It wasn't insulting. I don't even know the story.
Was it
if
a
I say
comfortable
you
jumper?
look beautiful, you get angry at me. So I'm sure it was the most thoughtful, gorgeous gift.
Probably,
And
yeah.
you took it the wrong way.
How dare you? you know?
That's what we're talking about, inspired by Jack from Maths, who was horrible, like truly horrible to two of the other contestants.
Oh my God, Tristan, body issues, walks into the pool area, calls him a whale, and then to apologise, bought him a gift card to a supplement store so he could get his whaleness under control, and a keyring that said, "You are enough."
You are enough.
Kidding me?
That's the kicker.
And yeah, we weren't happy.
Angela's in Bull Creek. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ange. Okay.
Hi.
Who bought you an insulting gift and what was it?
So my boyfriend of 6 years had invited me over to Sydney for a family wedding of his.
Yeah.
The morning of leaving, we had a bit of a tiff. He said, "You're not coming." So I didn't get to go. I'd taken time off work, lived paycheck to paycheck.
Oh.
When he came back, he bought me a pair of earrings. I don't have my ears pierced.
He didn't. 6 years you'd been together, Ange.
And he didn't know.
He had no idea.
Yep, that's right.
What are you saying to his family? You know, she doesn't have any earrings.
I mean, that was true.
Yeah. So he did actually, he did know something about you. He just didn't realise you had nowhere to put the earrings.
He thought about
okay,
it
that's
in a way.
major fail.
Okay, that's
Thanks,
funny.
Ange. We move from Ange to another Ange. Angela in Carambine. Hello.
Hi, how are you
Hey,
today?
Ange. Good, thanks.
Okay. What was the gift and who gave it to you?
I used to live in Singapore. I was 110 kilos and I used to go running every morning, 5K.
Yeah.
And I was chased down the street by a beautiful Singaporean man in his thongs,
Oh, nice.
waving a card in the air, and I stopped. And he gifted me with a gift card to his cousin's diet clinic. It would help me.
And he ran after you, actively ran after you.
I kid you not, I had my headphones in and all I could hear was slap, 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 slap behind me, and he's waving this card in the air for me.
What did you say?
Oh, thank you, kind
Yeah,
stranger.
excuse my accent, but auntie, I have for you. And he says, this helps you, my cousin's diet clinic.
And what did you say back to that? Because in his mind, he's being nice. What did you say? Did
Yeah,
you say-
no, I took the card and I looked him in the eye and I said, do you think I don't know I'm fat?
Also, you're running 5K in the tropics every day.
Yeah, it's good
The
on you,
reason
mate.
why I'm running is I saw a burger back there and I had to get away from it. Let's see what Vanessa got. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, it was my father-in-law,
Yeah.
and he actually got his mother-in-law a lifetime membership to Jenny Craig.
Oh,
Lifetime.
no, unless they have specifically asked for
No,
that.
and also Jenny.
Do not.
That's not a good gift because Jenny Craig collapsed.
Yes, that's right.
Well, we actually still give him heaps about it, but this is an elderly Italian woman who was well into her 70s at the time.
No.
Her years of him, and he still is adamant to say, because we still give him a fair bit about it, that it was an appropriate gift.
Appropriate for what?
No.
Her the favour.
He
No.
did her the favour.
No.
Lifetime. When you give
I
someone
know,
lifetime
it's
gift
like
at 70,
Yeah.
you're saving a few.
You know,
quid.
that is.
You're cheap.
I do think that's. I mean, you're at 70. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just ride it home, really.
Yeah, that's right.
And I would have said to her, "You are enough."
With the key ring.
No, just the words. Sean.
Oh,
The words
okay.
are powerful
just say
enough.
it. Just say it. Thanks, Vanessa. Claire is in Banksia Grove. Hi, Claire.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Claire.
Okay, Claire. Who gave you the insulting gift and what was it?
So it was my ex-mother-in-law. She gave me a book on how to clean your house in 5 minutes.
That's pointed, isn't
That
it?
is right on the money.
Pointed.
Claire needs this.
Yeah.
She's driving me crazy.
What did you
Get your
say?
joint in order, Claire.
Was she always dropping hints that she thought that you didn't have a tidy house?
Yes, she did quite often. So the gift wasn't unexpected.
Yes.
But bless her socks, she never worked. There was always a stay-at-home mum and, looked after the house. So she didn't realise that obviously I worked full-time and it was quite hard to keep the house clean. But,
No, you only needed 5 minutes, though. The book said
I know,
so.
Claire. Come on. Stop making excuses.
Do you know what? Imagine how many times she would have gone over to your house and then left and gone, can she run a vacuum over the floor?
She would have been furious.
I'm pretty sure every time she walked in, she'd be running a finger along the shelf going,
Any danger of dusting this?
So I want to know, it is an insulting gift. Did you read it? And can you do a little bit of a spruce in 5 minutes?
no, to be honest, I didn't open it, but it's sitting on the shelf so that she knows it's still there. I didn't have the heart to throw it out.
Yeah, it's all dusty, though, which really annoys her.
That's a good point. I should probably check. Actually, I don't know if I still have it. I should check if I still have it
That's
somewhere.
too funny. Thanks, Claire.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
On Monday, new time for Tipping Point Australia, everybody. It's going a little later. It's going to 5 o'clock. That's a sexy time slot. The host, Todd Woodbridge, joins us right now. Todd, welcome.
Good morning,
G'day, Todd.
Good morning, everybody. Great to be on. You guys are the early risers, and we fill in the afternoon.
But you're the living legend. So
that's very kind, but no.
We're just personalities. You know what a personality is.
Well, I do
don't
now.
you? Yeah, personality. Famous, ... in Perth.
Give an order of Australia. Yeah, none of us do,
We can't get an order of this suburb.
No.
That's not what I hear. That's not what I hear.
Now, Todd, you started off with our tipping point. You're just telling us off air how intense it is when you get in there because you've got a live studio audience. You've got to be up and about for the quiz show.
Look, we've filmed our first series now, so that's 160 shows. So that's a year. You do a year's worth in 3 months, and
How many a day?
We shoot 3 to 4 days a week, and we do 4 shows a day.
And do you have to get change your outfit for each show?
I do a couple, like the morning in an outfit and the afternoon in the. It gets mixed around.
Even if I was told to, when we do photo shoots, right, for the year, and we have to get changed
you have to get out
3
of your
times.
t-shirt.
You have to get
another
changed.
t-shirt.
You have to get changed 3 times. Every time I'm enraged getting changed, let alone having to do that.
No, it's been great fun though. But the intensity, I haven't sat on my backside all my career. And this was just getting in and learning and doing and wanting to make it work. That you can appreciate that. You guys are number one, and I have been a number one in my other field, and I really want to make this show work. And it's working. That's the great thing. So over on the East Coast, we're doing really, really well. And I'm in here because we're trying to win the West.
Exactly.
Well,
So being at 5 o'clock is going to be great. The studio audience is a difference to the English one. So the English one is very sedate.
It's very English. They're quite happy for the show to finish boring, but we're not. And it's like they queue. We don't like queuing. And the show itself, though, it has a really good base of viewership, and that's why it's been able to work because of those COVID years. Everybody sat at home and thought they'd take a break.
You've given it some tweaks though, because you do a bit of bargaining at the end.
Do a bit of bargaining. So you've got this your different rounds. You've got you start off with your buzzer round, then you go into a quick fire, then you go head to head. That's quite good. It's a bit more like banter in radio.
I like that.
Then you go in the jackpot round. Now, if you don't get the jackpot counter over the tipping
for
point,
$20,000,
you've got all your money sitting in the bank that's yours to take home, and then it's where I've become a used car salesman saying, hey, that's a nice vehicle, but let me get you a bigger, brighter one.
Yes.
And I'll offer, depending on where that jackpot counter is, I've offered 40, 50,
and holidays to the Maldives. You love a holiday to the Maldives.
Oh, yes. They just go, yes, I'll go. Even if they got no chance.
So this is for them to take a bit of a punt on using 3 or 4 more counters to get the...
Exactly. And so
have you ever gone rogue and offered something that the network is not willing to give?
The producer in my ear saying, halt.
Settle down.
We don't have the budget left.
You're getting 10 lions.
When I first saw Tipping Point, obviously with the general knowledge questions, questions you started to play on, but the counter machine just takes you back to when you've been to 100 fairs along as you're a kid, when you put the 20 cents in and then you're just trying to bang the corner.
It's a great level, because you can be the smartest person in the room and the machine lets you down.
You've got to be the quiz master, but the quiz master doesn't necessarily win.
Yeah,
it's somebody with that bit of pot luck. But you know what? That's why the show is actually being so successful as well. It's because kids are coming home from primary school. They're sitting down watching it. It's got that machine element that they love. Then their parents are watching it. Then the grandparents, if they've got them, they're watching it as well. So it's actually an afternoon show that's bringing a bit more of the family together because everybody's sitting down. So that's been a part of its success.
Nanas would love it. In the Kalgoorlie Fair, you would everyone would take, go along and they'd take their nana and they'd take their nana to that machine and then you'd drop her off there
and you'd leave her there
at the end of the day.
It's a bit like my mum with the pokies.
You didn't even have to answer any questions. It's amazing.
And it was just like under that mark, it was just a sea of nanas.
But how many times did you go to those machines and just sit there and bump them and just try to get as much money out as you can?
It's kind of what I like when we were talking about jackpot temptation at the end. I actually feel like I'm on the side of my contestant.
Yes.
And that
you want them to win. Yeah, that's right.
Come on. And then I can't control anything in the machine.
And it's all or nothing. So if they either get all of that or they go home
and tell you what, there's a lot of gamblers out there. They want to take the punt and, I got to tell you, some walk away with it and a lot don't.
Yeah.
I love you've got some little slang terms that you've come up with. So when, Nathan, when the counter falls down and it lands on top of another one, that's what do we call that? Winona.
Oh, a Winona rider. I think that might have been
Why is that a Winona rider? Because it's riding on the back of another one?
Rider.
Or a shoplift?
You can tell I'm in form. No, it doesn't shoplift, no. We've got our edge surfers and our ghost
drops.
Hugging ghost drops that sit in the machine and sort of...
Did you come up with this stuff?
It was some of them, the hugging ghost drop, because it gets a bit of static occasionally and it sits and hugs in. It's not magnets behind, because there's all these theories out there, but they're actually not.
Oh, you've got tipping point conspiracy theories.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Another setup.
Yeah, oh no, you can see the magnet dragging it into position.
Toad's really a lizard.
They're not metal. They're plastic.
Yeah.
You mentioned at the age of 12 you started travelling and you had to compete at a really high level then.
Yeah, I left home at 14 to go to the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra and then started to travel, did well. By 16 I was going to Europe for 10, 11 weeks to go through the clay court season onto Wimbledon and so forth.
It's so much easier these days because anyone in that same thing, it's connected. Connectivity, you don't feel like you're away from your family as much. Tell them what you went through.
Well, I'm not sure it is easy. I think it actually stops kids from developing some resilience.
Oh, right. I got you because they don't have the detachment.
So back in my day, it's so long ago, but I was allowed one phone call a week to my parents. And
who
you looked at me
that?
like, why couldn't you? Because it was a reverse charge call. It was
so
expensive.
Your parents said you can only call
one.
You
couldn't afford it. You weren't able to do it.
You get one away.
Back then it was like $20 for a phone call. Yeah. This is 35, 40 years ago.
So for all the younger people listening right now, how did you correspond with your parents?
We wrote letters.
Will you explain what that is?
Aerograms.
Oh yes, the really lightweight ones. Yes,
and
postcards.
Postcards. Yeah.
There's something I can never get past on postcards is why would you write all your personal business so anyone can read it?
But listen,
it's so strange to me.
You'd say the weather's fantastic. I'm having dinner on the Champs-Elysees at Pizza Pino. I'm looking forward to getting to England to get some decent food.
Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of personal information divulged. No,
that was.
Yeah. By the way, my BSB number is. Please transfer me some cash.
No, yes, that was traveller's checks.
Yeah.
Traveller's checks.
God.
Yeah, you got
they've got it easy today, haven't they?
Todd, did you have a house in Europe because there's a lot of the seasons played there?
You lived in America.
I know you're in America, but
no. So we were based out of Orlando in Florida. I lived there for 11 years. And that was great. And then when we had our kids, it was time to come home.
Did you lived on an estate with golfers and other elite athletes, didn't you?
Done your homework?
Yeah.
Yes. One very famous one called Tiger Woods.
Oh, really?
So he was a tennis player? No.
Yes, no. Tiger loved his
golf cart into a tree.
I used to play golf with him often. And I used to play a lot of tennis with him. He loved tennis, and so he wanted to have a slice backhand. He thought that was the coolest shot, a la Federer, if you like.
Right. Okay.
And I tried to explain to him that actually that's not the one you want. You want a two-hander, but he saw that as the shot to have.
Yeah.
So I used to try and teach him a slice backhand.
When you were playing with Tiger Woods, was that around the time that he was playing with other ladies?
No.
So it wasn't during that scandal period?
It was. I had moved back to Australia, and then he lost focus.
That's what happens. Well, no one was playing tennis. He had the
no
time to fill.
supervision. You were his supervisor. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So he's going for the.
That's what happens when you have a Todd-shaped hole in your life.
Yes, that's right. You need to fill it.
You turn to endless women.
With cocktail waitresses.
Now, Todd, obviously we know you as one of the greatest ever doubles player that's ever played, a Hall of Fame, and everywhere you look. But you were great in singles too, right? So you got to.
Thanks for raising that.
19. Was it 19 in the world?
19 in the world. Made semis in Wimbledon back in '97.
Yeah. So in that run, you beat everyone. So Australia's love affair with Pat Rafter took him down. Playing Pete Sampras and beating him. What was that like?
That's a
because
big
Pete
deal at the
Sampras was a
time.
big deal.
I didn't beat him in that one. I lost to him in the semi-finals of Wimbledon that year. But I did beat him at Wimbledon, and of course he won it 7 times or whatever he did. But I got him before he'd won it.
So you got him early.
So I got him early, and then I actually played him. I played him 3 more times at Wimbledon after that. 1 sets, but didn't beat him again. So I got the win.
Right. What was his Achilles heel?
His Achilles heel. His Achilles heel was Pat Rafter.
He spoke to his parents twice a week.
Made him
To his focus.
Very quick. Pat Rafter used to annoy him because Pat would go into the locker room. No, Pete. One day he'd know you, the next day he didn't, and he didn't like to talk a lot. So he'd be lying on the physio's table and.
Pat would just get in his ear.
Pat would just start yapping at him, talking to him, and he'd annoy the living daylights out of him.
That's
and that's
so
how
funny.
he got under his skin.
There's so many people would love Pat Rafter to talk to them.
Yes,
but,
not Pete Sampras. No.
Who didn't you like on the tour?
Who didn't I like?
There's always a few.
Well, Goran Ivanisevic used to annoy me.
Okay.
But it was because he had a good left-handed serve and I couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
I actually became good mates with him. So it's really quite interesting how once you get past the winning and losing, you get to know somebody's personality. But it's a cutthroat sport, tennis, and you don't want to give too much away.
Did you have someone's literally every time you play them, you knocked them over? Because everybody has a bunny.
Well, not many. I didn't have many bunnies, but I was Andre Agassi's bunny.
Oh, okay.
So every time.
It's nice to be involved.
I was the bunny.
Yeah.
At least we were there.
Yeah, exactly.
So bagels or what did you?
No, but I won a set once out of about 6 matches. Not great.
Was that a good feeling of that set?
It was.
Great.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.